Last topic. We got to talk about this. Aliens. You've been
We don't have
interested
much
in
time here.
I know. I know we don't have a lot of time, but you do have some ideas about aliens, and also I don't know if the Great Filter fits in here
It
perfect.
does. It does fit actually.
Does it? Okay, so talk about.
But briefly,
First of
I
all,
have to do it very briefly.
yeah, tell people real quick what the Great Filter is and what your ideas about aliens are.
All right. So once upon a time, the entire universe was dead. Then each little part slowly evolved over time, moving through levels of evolution, becoming simple life and then more complicated life, then intelligence, then civilization, and then eventually we might become a spacefaring civilization that spreads out in the universe. The Great Filter is about that whole process and how hard it is. And so it seems pretty obvious that whole process is in general hard. So if we say on a planet like Earth, what's the chance that something could go from the beginning to the end of that process in only 4 billion years that we've seen so far? You have to say, well, that's pretty unlikely. On most planets, it doesn't happen. It happens every once in a while somewhere. So the Great Filter is how hard that is, and like whether there are more steps ahead of us, because if so, then we're probably not going to make it. And we can think of that filter not only per planet, we can think about it per galaxy even, that what's the chance that eventually a galaxy will give rise to an advanced civilization that would spread out. And the universe has basically been going through this process in each galaxy, in each place, slowly having a chance to maybe advance to the next step. And eventually it produces civilizations, which you might call aliens, except here. And the question is, well, how many of them are there and where are they and at what level are they? So I want to make a key distinction between quiet aliens who don't expand very far, don't last very long, don't do very much, and loud aliens, which are big and do a lot. And so in particular, I want to define grabby aliens. So grabby aliens are aliens who, as soon as they can, expand as fast as they can. And wherever they go, whatever they control, they prevent other grabby aliens from showing up there and doing the same. If this is what happens in the universe, then eventually the universe is full of grabby aliens and no new grabby aliens could show up. And this is what I offer as an explanation for why we seem to be early in the history of the universe. This Great Filter process rewards things happening at some random time in the universe, not just then, but farther into the future, so that this process can have achieved its end. So the chance per time actually goes as a power law, which really pushes toward later times. So we're really early compared to this distribution. So if we didn't exist, would there be another alien around here eventually in this part of the universe? If the answer is no, then we're really rare and we should have appeared at some random time. But if there would be likely to be other aliens around if we weren't here, then eventually they're going to fill it up and eventually there'll be a deadline after which we couldn't appear. And that's why we're as early as we are. So that's our explanation for ours early. And so in this model of grabby aliens, actually we say roughly 40% of the universe out there at this moment is controlled by grabby aliens, a lot. And if we could see them in the sky, they'd be huge. And the reason we don't see them here is there's a selection effect. Because they expand at nearly the speed of light, that is almost all of our entire past volume, our past light cone is excluded, because if they had appeared there, then they would have shown up here and prevented us from existing. And that's why we don't see them in this past light cone. And that's why the universe looks so empty, but it's not.
This reminds me of Fermat's paradox. That's what this brings to mind.
Well, so it's the same subject. Yes. Why don't we see anything?
Why do we not see aliens? Either because there are no aliens, or because they haven't contacted us, or because we're not sophisticated enough to receive the signals, or something like that.
Well, that would work for the quiet ones. Well, what about the really big loud ones?
Yeah, right.
So
exactly.
In our analysis, if there was an alien civilization in the sky, it would be much bigger than the full moon. It would be huge.
Yeah.
And so you really couldn't miss it, but we don't see it. And so the selection effect is our story, that the reason we don't see it is that if it was there, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
We'd only really see things that are just at the edge of visibility. And that's not very, that's a rare thing. And so the point is, most of the universe right now is full of these aliens taken over. Within a billion years, they will get here.
Yeah.
And then, we will have contact. So we've got maybe 100 million to a billion years left before we make contact. So it's not an urgent thing, but they're out there and we will see them.
They're coming.